everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kate and this is my very first booktube video ever. I am so freaking excited. I don't even know what to do with my hands. So I have been wanting to start a booktube channel forever and I finally am doing it today and I'm so excited. So make sure you go ahead and subscribe. You'll probably be like one of my first subscribers ever. So yay! So my name is Kate and I am a stay-at-home mom. I have two sons. I have Grayson, who is 8. He is in 2nd grade, and Foster is 2 years old. I also have a husband named Andy and a puppy dog named Archie. He is a 1.5-year-old golden doodle, but he doesn't really look very doodly. And I live in Alabama, and I love to read. That's pretty much all there really is to me. I also have a motherhood, lifestyle, cleaning kind of channel that I will link down below if you're interested in those types of videos, but I don't upload too often on there anymore. But I still have some really cool videos with my kids on there. But this channel is going to be all about me and all about my books, and oh, I am so excited. So a little bit about my reading life. I guess I should just say that I really love thrillers, horror, a little bit of sci-fi thriller, a little bit of paranormal, and I also really like romance, but I really like my romance to be a little bit like sticky, you know what I mean? Wait, that's so gross. I like my romance to be a little bit weird. I like it to be like forbidden or complicated or just stressful. So that is my like reading taste, but I also am like super excited to get into more like fantasy, literary fiction, and some historical fiction. I'm really excited for that. So I'm gonna kind of use this channel as like motivation to like spread out and broaden my horizons in the book world. I also am starting a book Instagram and we'll link that down below, so make sure you go and follow me there too. And yeah, I'm just gonna kind of get into some fall reads now because that's the interesting part. So I just looked at all the books I've read since August and there's way too many to do in this video. So if you guys want to see the books that I've read in August and September and even before that, just let me know and I can do like a this year what I've read. I don't know, something really similar to that, but I'm just going to talk about what I read in October last month instead and do an October wrap up, and I'm just going to have it done a little bit late, I guess. So I'm going to start with the first 2 books I read, which are part of a series, and they are Male Male Romances, and it is him, and the second book is called Us, and they're by Serena Bowen, and this is the first Male Male romance I've ever read. I know, where have I been under a rock 1,000,000%, because that is now my favorite genre. I'm not trying to be dramatic. It is my new guilty pleasure, and you will be able to tell with what I read in October. I read these 2 books in 2 days, and I will read them again super soon because they are probably one of my favorite romances of all time. It is a friends to lovers, and what the heck, it's so cute. It's a friends to lovers male male romance, and you need to read it. It is a little bit racy, but good racy in my opinion. I like a little bit racy. Both these books I cannot recommend enough. These are gonna go down in history on my books. I discovered my new favorite genre. So coincidentally, my 3rd and 4th read of October were also male male romances. So the 3rd and 4th book I read were also in a series, Aced, and the second one is Locked. These are by Ella Frank. And I got this recommendation from Gabby Reads. This is where I got both of these series books recommendations from, and holy cow, I love this one so much too. This follows a movie star and a model, And so it kind of adds that cool element, like Hollywood life element, into the already super cute male-male romance. I did give Aced 4 stars and Locked 3 stars, and I did DNF the third book in this series for no reason other than I'm lame. Guys, Aced and Locked were both amazing. I loved Aced the most. Locked was super good. It kind of just, I didn't really like the plot of that one as much as I did Aced. So that was its only downfall, but it was still cute as shit, seriously. Then the third book in this series just got kind of boring. It was still so cute, so I probably read 60% of it before I did end up DNFing it. It just did get boring, but I don't know. Some people might really, really like it. I just felt like it was no plot, and it was more just like day-to-day life, and I just couldn't stick with it. But I'm still in love forever with these characters, and you must read this. You must. So the 5th book I read this October is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is a 5-star book for me, like I knew it would be. This book follows Evelyn Hugo, and it kind of just follows her whole life from when she was an actor in Hollywood. It kind of reminds me of like Marilyn Monroe, you know what I mean? Just like the blonde bombshell Hollywood actor, and she's so famous, and she's just reflecting on her life. She obviously has 7 husbands in her life, and then it eventually follows her and the person she actually falls in love with. Evelyn Hugo is so cool. She gives off such badass vibes. Like, sometimes you do want to scream at her and you're like, Evelyn, but you also think, I don't know, like she's super real. Like this is a real person. It makes you just feel like she's a real human being and she's not perfect. And she's also really cool. I don't know. I want to be Evelyn Hugo. Next book I read was Verity by Colleen Hoover. I gave this book 4.5 stars out of 5. So it was almost 5-star book for me. I really enjoyed this book. The only reason I didn't get a full 5 stars is because the ending got a little like much for me. I'm like, oh, like it was a good ending. Like it wasn't that I didn't like the ending. I approve. But it was just like at one point I was like, is this about to be too much? Like, are you trying to go cheesy on me? But it ended up working out. So I dropped a 0.5 star just because I felt like for a second there it was a little dramatic. But overall, this was like a really interesting read. I think it had the perfect mix of like a forbidden, smutty relationship that I'm all about and the creepy, thrilling factor. This book definitely did give me the creeps a few times, and I don't know, it's about Verity, and she's an author, and she meets this guy Jeremy who is trying to help his wife who's gotten in a devastating car crash, she's also a writer, cannot finish her book series. He's trying to help her find someone who can finish her series for her. So he finds Verity, moves Verity into their house to start writing the series, and some shiz goes down. And it's a really fast-paced thriller in my opinion, and I am all here for like a romance / thriller. I know a lot of people said this is just a thriller or just a romance. I feel like it's equally both, and I loved both parts of it. So I really enjoyed this book, and I would highly recommend it if you're all about thriller romance. Like this is 10 out of 10 for me in that category. Next, I read another thriller, What Lies Between Us by John Marrs. I gave this book a 4-star. I listened to this book part on Audible and read half of it, so it kind of did back and forth. I really liked reading the book, but I don't know, for some reason the audiobook didn't really do it for me. But I really liked this book. There was so many twists in this book that I didn't see coming. I really liked that. I love like twist all throughout the book. And this book definitely had that. It wasn't just like, oh, you have to wait till the end to get a good twist. So I really loved that. This is about 2 women. I don't really know how to tell you. Okay, I'm just gonna say this book follows 2 women, and it's thrilling. Read it. Next, I read Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas, and I gave this 5 stars. I wish I could give it more because this is one of my new favorite romances of all time ever. You would think in October I'd be reading like so many horror books, but instead I'm reading like romance. Anyways, this was freaking good. This is a forbidden romance between a girl who's like 19, and her boyfriend move into her boyfriend's dad's house. And I don't know, something may or may not happen between her and her boyfriend's dad. And what the heck, this is so steamy. This is so good. This is so cute. I stan. I love. I didn't expect to love this book that much, and I wish I could go back in time and say prepare to love it so much and take your time and really enjoy it, because I feel like I was just kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna read this, whatever, and wasn't like anticipating the best book ever. And I think this is one of my favorite romances of all time. Next, I read Mallory by Josh Malerman, and this is the sequel to Bird Box, if you guys didn't know, and I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars because it's freaking fantastic. It's a horror book, and I'm sure that most of you guys know what Bird Box is. It's about a world, an apocalyptic world, I'm guessing, where you have to wear a blindfold and keep your eyes closed at all times, or else you will see these creatures that make you go mad and kill everyone and kill yourself. And yeah, so basically this is just a sequel to that book, and I feel like it was just as good as Bird Box. I feel like I liked Bird Box 1% better for some reason, but I can't pinpoint why, so I liked it the same. It was really thrilling. I read it in one day, and I kind of hope he keeps making books in this series because I'm here for it. So next I read Final Girls by Riley Sager. This is my first Riley Sager book ever, and I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I'm freaking pumped for all of his other books. I've got to get my hands on them ASAP this year because he is just, I can tell, going to be one of my very favorite thriller authors that I'm going to read everything he comes out with and love it and love it and love it because his writing is just, it just matches well with me, and I love Final Girls. This follows a girl who was a part of a horrible massacre when she was in college, and all of her friends were murdered except her. She was the only survivor, so the news and media call her a final girl. There was 2 other girls that had their own separate tragedies that they ended up being the final girls of, and so they formed this little club, and it just kind of follows them and them 3 a few years later, flashing back to their actual massacres they were a part of. It is just really creepy, and it really scares me because like nothing is scarier than a massacre. Like, Next, I read Eleanor in Grey by Brittany C. Cherry, and I actually ended up DNFing this at like 85% of the way through. This is a romance, and I didn't like it. And I'm so disappointed because so many of my favorite booktubers recommend this book as a great romance, and they all love it, and so I thought, surely a 5-star. But no, I just thought this book was extremely cheesy and way too over the top for me. It was just like, come on. I will say the first 50%, first half of the book was great. It follows them as younger teenagers, which I usually don't like. I usually like more, grown adult stuff, but this young adult part was amazing, and I cried in the beginning of the book. But then when it switched to them being now adults, I felt like it was weird. I did not like it. Oh, I DNF'd it. I couldn't even continue. I was literally like, what? And then last but not least, I read No Exit by Taylor Adams. And this is one of my most anticipated thrillers of this year, and I'm just now getting around to it, and it was a 5 freaking star. And I'm obsessed with this book, and I'm now pushing it upon everyone in my life because this was seriously thrilling. Like, this is a standard thriller in my book, and actually, I don't know, it might even be horror because it's freaking horrifying. It follows this girl, and I forgot her name already. So it follows this girl, and she's driving home for Christmas in a snowstorm, has to pull off on a rest area stop. There's 4 other people locked in this place during the snowstorm. She goes outside to take a little break, trying to get some cell service, and sees a child, little girl, locked in the back of one of the people's vans in a cage, being kidnapped. So she now knows that one of the 4 people she is locked up in this rest area with is a kidnapper. And wow, that's all I'm gonna tell you, because that's all you need to know. That's freaking horrifying, in my opinion. And the rest of the book just gets more and more horrifying. So that is pretty much it for this video. I'm sure it's a million years long, but I am so happy to be starting this booktube journey with you guys, and I am so excited for all of the millions of videos and books to come. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please subscribe so you do not miss anything that's coming up. After this video, I plan to have my very first reading vlog up, so make sure you hit subscribe, make sure you give me a big thumbs up, and let me know that you like wrap-ups, because I can't wait to do my November one. And thank you so much for watching. Also, if you don't mind, leave me a comment and give me a video idea, because